जीवन है, life है. So there's bound to be challenges, there's bound to be unhappiness. But if I have a grip over myself and a firm conviction, and I have accordingly developed my personality to be able to get up and face all these and say, okay, they have come, lemons have come my way, let me make my life into a lemonade by celebrating life, and therefore I refuse to be unhappy. So, good morning, everyone, and first of all, thank you so much for accepting my invitation to join this exciting discussion group. You know, this particular topic has always been of interest to me for the simple reason that you go through life's journey. Now, I'm 75, and over the years, when I look back on life, there were moments when I was so unhappy for foolish things that today I wonder that what was it that made me, was it my ignorance, was it my stupidity, why was I so unhappy about something which was so what shall I say, insignificant, but it made a lot of difference and it created a lot of unhappiness, and I see it around myself also. For example, sometimes when I used to go for my morning walks, I used to see a whole lot of old people. I was young then, a lot of old people on the morning walk, and the entire discussion was about the daughter-in-law, that she's not got up and I didn't get my tea and things like that. So early morning negativity se shuru hona, is that life, is that what we are meant for, or are we meant to enjoy our happiness? So then, over the years, because of the training programs of JCs, and I was exposed to it in my very young age, and I took it very sincerely. So from then on, this has been a part of my whole thinking and personality, and I've tried to live it in my own life. This is not coming from somewhere top where you talk of a theory which you don't practice yourself. No, I've tried my best, and I'm a human being, so naturally you fail at times and you don't. But when you fail, you know how to take care of yourself and take a charge of yourself. So as we go down the course, we will realize that. Before we start this, let's understand the difference between Sukh, which is pleasure. Sukh, that comes from the indulgence of the senses. Saukhya is an attitude of satisfaction. There are many people who have all the Sukh in the world, but there is no Saukhya. Are you understanding the difference? Yeah, that is it. But Ananda is totally different. It is not dependent on either of these. It is joy. The nearest English word for that would be joy, which is self-existing. It is not dependent on the pleasures of the senses. It is not dependent on my attitude either. It is self-existing. It is eternally there. Now the point is, we in our country are blessed to have had Vedic traditions and Advaita teachings, where they said that our essential nature is Sat, Chit, Anand. Sat is truth. Chit is awareness, which we are. We know, I am aware. Nobody needs to tell me that I am aware, that I have to be aware of myself. No, I am aware. But Anand, मैं आनंद में हूँ क्या? And if not, then something is missing. बराबर है? कहीं तो भी तो गड़बड़ है कि मैं भाई, अगर ये मेरा स्वभाव है, if it is my nature, and 99% of the time I am not आनंदी, तो कहीं तो भी तो गड़बड़ हो रही है लाइफ में जीने की. वो क्या गड़बड़ है, अपन थोड़ा साथ में मिलके इस कोर्स में, इस डिस्कशन में एक्सप्लोर करेंगे. So when we say I refuse to be unhappy, the first question that comes to the mind is it possible? There's so much of unhappiness, so much of disappointment in life. I mean, there are challenges of the body, there are challenges of relationships, there are challenges from all kinds of competition in the profession, business that we are in, then society, family, बहुत सारे इतने challenges में how can I refuse to be unhappy? Do I have a choice? The wise say yes, it's possible. The only freedom of will that we have in life is how to react. Perhaps our entire life, as is preordained, in the sense, ये सगळं प्रारब्ध है ऐसा बोलते. I mean, that which has to happen will happen. You must have heard all these cliched statements. I don't want to get into that. Fact of the matter is that I have a choice how to react. Now, if you call me bloody fool, what choice do I have? feel bad, or I say I think equally about you. Unhappiness, gone, rejected. I have a choice there. Similarly, I have choice in most of the situations in life how to react. And God has given us this fundamental beauty in a freedom that we can. Now that choice needs to be exercised. It has to be cultivated. It does not automatically happen. Let us explore the possibility. Now most common pursuit is happiness for everyone. Anyone, I mean if you ask anyone, what are you doing all this for? To be happy. And then he translates it. It means this for me. But everyone wants it, but when you say that I refuse to be unhappy, people laugh at you, thinking that you have lost it. कहीं तो भी ये सटक गया है, कुछ तो गड़बड़ है इसमें. They aren't so wrong because life is tough. There is dukh all around. You know, you see that it is not easy. I mean, you can't talk in the air and say it is easy. And happiness we have experienced at the most, but it is momentary. Now the whole challenge is how do I extend that moment of happiness? It is not that it is something new for us. We have all experienced happiness. There are those moments when you've been really happy. Now it doesn't have to be that you have acquired something and you are happy. No. It could be just that you go and stand in front of the sea, the waves are lashing, it's a beautiful evening sunset moment and you are just happy to be there. किसकी जरूरत नहीं रहती, पर वो कितनी देर लास्ट करता? Very few moments. Now our challenge here in this discussion is going to be how to extend that moment of happiness and make it more and more longer. Now this whole thing is I refuse. Who refuses? I refuse. Now अगर मेरे को if I want to refuse to be unhappy, I better know who I am actually. So when I introduce myself to you, I am Vilas Kale, what am I introducing? My body, my mind, my intellect. What all am I introducing? As a human being, a person who has all these three in him. For example, if I am a very handsome person, and the first impression you will have is, wow. But the moment I start speaking, it shows what? The quality of my mind and the intellect. And then perhaps you think in a disala changla hai, but you know, he's a nut case, or you know. So when we say I am talking of three dimensions. It's like this tripod which you are seeing in front of us. It's that there are three dimensions to human personality. One is the body, the other is the mind, and third is the intellect. All the three have to be equally developed and strong if I want my personality to be strong and stable. You cannot have a person who is physically very fit but mentally unstable. I think personally every one of you know from 25 we have somebody up to 75. So we are talking of a 50-year generation age-wise gap. But all the same is the same story that I think I know myself. Everybody here thinks that you know yourself? How many think no?
Yeah, so I was saying that I honestly do not know who I actually am, and I am on this journey of discovering who I really am. And on this journey, I figured that I don't know fully as to who I am and what I'm looking for.
Yeah. So, you know, Tanmay, what happens is most of us know our body a little better than we know our mind and intellect. For the simple reason, body is something we attend to easily. Because we know, you know, दर्द हो रहा, ये हो रहा, वो हो रहा, आज थक गया, ये हो गया. मन थक गया, मन की क्वालिटी क्या है, मन का ये कभी हम एनालिसिस नहीं करते. We have never looked at the quality of our mind. We have never looked at our emotional quotient, है ना? And the other part is the intellectual capacity. Do I think rationally or am I reactive? Do I listen properly, analyze, and then after thinking react, or is it ठटक reaction? हमको मालूम नहीं है, तो इसको हमने कभी एग्जामिन नहीं किया. तो अभी अपन शुरुआत करेंगे with a discussion on looking at ourselves closely and accepting ourselves. You know, our mind is also very tricky. It doesn't let us accept ourselves as we are. So what I normally do is I give out a questionnaire and I ask people to fill that questionnaire for themselves. I do not want to see it, it's your personal thing. And I give out that questionnaire and you look at yourself from various angles. For example, अभी मैं यहाँ बैठा हूँ, कैमरा वहाँ से देख रहा है मेरे को. If this camera was there up in the corner, another part of me will be visible. And if it is at the back, something else. So I am looking at myself from various angles to see the quality of who am I. How am I? How is my body? How is my mind? How is my intellect? So we run through a series. अभी मैं वो आपके साथ में share करता हूँ. If I want to really refuse to be unhappy, I better take a grip of myself. So let's see. अभी दूसरी एक बात है इसमें. Human personality tri-dimensional है, tripod है, 3 aspects है. और एक चीज़ है, what am I concerned about? One is, I want to know who I am actually by looking at this analysis. Then there is a person who exists who people think you are. Is that in your control? No. What, yeah, depends on who has told him about what. I mean, you know, and then you realize, अरे वो वैसा है ही नहीं जैसे इसने बोला था. बहुत सज्जन आदमी, and then you realize that the सज्जन is really not so सज्जन. And then somebody says he's a very bad man and you realize, no, he's not really as bad as I was told. You know, these are practical experiences. So the person people think who I am is not in my control. The person I am is through analysis I know. And there is that one big fat person called the person I think I am. वो बड़ा distorted रहता, उसमें हर एक को एक अहंकार रहता है कि मैं ऐसा हूँ, मैं वैसा हूँ. People take pride in being short tempered. मेरे को एक बार गुस्सा आ गया ना तो ऐसा ऐसा, एंड घर के लोग भी उसको ये करते हैं. There's a friend of mine who used to throw the roti from the if the he didn't like the sides which were little cooked more than so he used to take it out and throw, and his mother would say he always does that. If I was his mother, I would have given him one tight thappad and told him that you have no bloody right to do this, but this is what it is pampered. And people take glory in that and they talk about it. So there is this big distortion. अब हमारे को इस कोर्स के द्वारा वो डिस्टॉर्शन को फोकस में लाना है कि मैं ऐसा हूँ, दिस इज व्हाट द एनालिसिस टेल्स मी, एंड दिस पर्सन आई थिंक आई एम विच इज कॉजिंग मी ऑल द अनहैप्पीनेस इन लाइफ इज व्हाट आई वांट टू ब्रिंग इन फोकस. समझ गए ना? वेरी सिंपल वे ऑफ डूइंग इट. साउंड्स सिंपल, बट एज वी गो इनटू द डेप्थ ऑफ इट, इट गेट्स इट नॉट डिफिकल्ट, बट इट हैज टू बी ऑनेस्ट. वहाँ पे दिक्कत आती है. ये हमारा मन जो है ना, वो अपने को ऑनेस्टली अपने आप को एक्सेप्ट नहीं करने देता. एज वी आर, इट प्लेज गेम्स देयर, एंड देयर इज नॉर्मली दिस, बिकॉज ऑफ दैट आई एम लाइक दिस. यू नो, अगेन द ब्लेम गेम स्टेप्स इन क्विकली. इंस्टेड ऑफ सेइंग कि नो आई एम दिस, finished. No, because of that, this, because of him, like this, because of her, this, ऐसा सब आता है उसमें. तो वो सब अपने को वो जो है ना, वो सब निकाल देने का है कचरा, out of it and come to the basic of it. So first, self-evaluation. We do a self-evaluation, an assessment. अब अपने को समझना मैं कौन हूँ. तो me and my body. My first is the physical part of it. ये tripod ध्यान में रखना. Tripod के 3 ये. तो पहला है body. अब बॉडी में when I get up in the morning, how do I feel? Fresh, smiling, happy. How many people get up with a good smile?
It depends on the day.
Lovely, lovely. That's very nice.
Your question that when I get up, whether I smile or not, I didn't even realize that actually what is my expression, whether I actually smile or don't smile, or be serious, or I'm very anxious that I have to fulfill all the routine starting from meditation, yoga and XYZ.
Majority of the people, I'm told, get up with a complaint about the last night's not good sleep, and they, you know, normally they get up with a frown. ठीक से सोया नहीं, ये नहीं हुआ, वो नहीं हुआ, and I'm not getting into the actual part of it. The thing is, what is good health according to you all? What is good health? मेरी तबीयत अच्छी है means what? नींद अच्छी आती है?
Actually, there is a term in Sanskrit we call Swastha. Swastha means Swastha, meaning you are in your own self. So when you are in that situation, in terms of body, in terms of your sharira, you are swastha, meaning you are in good health.
So which means what in detail? It means I have slept well. Good sleep everybody needs. Then food.
Good nutrition.
भूख लगती है और वो digest होता है. And what else do you need? Energy. Good energy levels all through the day. Energetic, cheerful. है ना? So these are the things, but how many of us actually experience it? And if we are not having it, what do we do for it? Is how we look at our body. So the questions that I'll mail these to you, but when I get up in the morning, I feel cheerful, energetic, thick, heavy, low, lazy. My toilet habits are regular. I need something. I'm constipated. Phalana works. I eat. What all do I eat? And these are multiple answers. It's not that one is correct. No, what do you actually do? We are facing ourselves. So you please take whatever actually applies to you. What all actually applies to you. So there are people who are very particular about low fat food and fried stuff, calculated diet, something else, little in between. मैं तो सब खाता हूँ मगर अभी आई एम 75 so everybody tells me now forget about all this diet वाइट सब छोड़ दे जो होना वो कर आनंद से खाया ने मेरे जाने की तैयारी कर kind of a thing. So important is खा तो लिया पर वो डाइजेस्ट करने के लिए मैं कुछ खास करता हूँ क्या? Big question there. And to digest my intake of food, I don't do anything special. Applies to, that's how the doctor's business survive and thrive. Because, if people really digested the food that they've intaken by proper workout and regularly, half the patients will reduce with the doctors. So I don't do anything special. I exercise whenever I can. I am very particular about my exercises. To relax my body, I play, I walk, I get a massage, I just lie down, I don't need anything, but I can relax. Now people have different ways of relaxing and everything is valid. As long as you feel relaxed, it's all about you. So as long as you feel relaxed, fine. I mean, you here now is not the mind. For in your IT field especially, I see a lot of stress happening at the mind level and of course affecting the physical side also. So what is it especially? Then my intake of alcohol and tobacco. So there is no particular कि ये खराब है या ये है. What is it? And how much are you in control? How much are you abusing? Please answer, whatever it be, but answer honestly. My health condition is generally excellent, okay, weak, sensitive, poor, easily succumbs to diseases. When I am unwell, I am particular about medical care, not unless it's severe. Majority of the people don't go to the doctors in spite of suffering, for I don't know something that comes in their mind and they think they are their own doctor. And now you see that day I went to my endocrinologist for diabetes and he said, please don't share with me internet ka medical knowledge. I said, I'm not, I'm just asking you because something happened and I asked him, but that particular tablet does this or something like that. He said, yaar wo internet ka mat bata, because the kind of patients who come here with a half-conceived idea of medicine based on internet is irritating for the doctors now. They don't let the person be examined physically. My personal hygiene, how is it? So this is about the body. Now once you examine this, you will realize that where is the scope of unhappiness here. Why I am saying scope of unhappiness? Because वो काहे की वजह से हो रहा है. There are many people who suffer because of the body and they don't do anything about it. That's the sad side. So here I have to take a grip of myself. अब multiple ये होता है, with a certain age. Like there was a book I read when Gawande was from Dr. Gawande. But he's in US, he's born and brought up in US, but he's from Vidarbha. And he wrote a book in which very interesting comment I read that anybody above the age of 60, 65 in the USA is seeing about 14 to 15 different specialists, medical specialists. Aankh ka alag, kaan ka alag, iska alag, uska alag. But he needs to, because that's how the health is going on. One very good habit which Dr. Manmohan Daga, my friend, he told me when I was 36. He said that at this age you are prime, your health is in prime condition. Now if you start doing an annual health checkup, just once in a year, 4 to 5 hours, go run through the whole body correctly and see how the body is progressing. And so he said it will be very helpful. And believe me, I have been religiously doing it since my age of 36. And because of that annual health checkup, my diabetes was discovered in nick of time. My blood pressure was discovered, high blood pressure. Later on, I mean, it was God's grace that 3 years ago, in the CT scan, they saw a small growth on my liver. And that doctor asked me, radiologist who was doing that, he said, did you have this last year? So I had my scan of the last year. So we checked and no, it wasn't there. So it was a recent occurrence. And then I of course went and saw the doctor and he said it's better to remove it. It's looking benign, but better to remove it and all. We removed it. It was a small little growth, and it turned out to be carcinogenic. After so the doctor started laughing, and he said, "You must have done some punya in your life that it was discovered. Liver ka cancer to be discovered at this stage," he says, "is so uncommon." I said, "It is nothing punya. It is that regular annual health checkup." And recently I read Vindhya Sanjana tell about her kidney cancer, which was discovered in annual health checkup. So annual health checkup is a very nice thing, you know, to know how your body is progressing, definitely after the age of 36. When you are at prime health, then start checking yourselves, and it is very helpful, but it depends on each one. अब ये तो हो गया शरीर का. Any questions on this? Anything about the body? Anyone? I want to tell you something very funny because आप बताइए आपका क्या अनुभव रहा? How are you approaching your body? You're particular? All of you? Yes or no? You are. Vrinda to yes, I mean you work out and all that, walking and regularly. Anyone here who doesn't feel very healthy? Nice.
I think I cannot speak for everybody of my age group, but in my age group it's usually, especially in the tech sector, health is something that comes कि हाँ 30 तक million कमा लेंगे, उसके बाद सोचेंगे health का क्या करना है. That's sort of the attitude. I've tried correcting that personally myself, trying to work out, trying to eat healthier. But yeah, that is something my age group struggles with.
You know, the human body is an organism, and this organism has to be given its proper requirement, which is in terms of rest, nourishment and workout. There is no compromise there. And you know, it pains my heart when I see a young doctor die because of stress. Recently we had a couple of deaths that we heard, and doctors who know what they are talking about, and yet they succumb to it. Very, very sad. It's a sad statement. Yeah.
So I'll just share this, like my father-in-law. Now it's been almost 35 years, like, you know, like I have been married. So I have been observing him, right, when I got married. Daddy always visits the doctor, no matter what. He's 83 years old. He is absolutely, I would say, at this age, fine. When you are able to do everything yourself and you don't need anybody, what else at 83?
Yeah.
And contrast to that, my husband refuses to visit a doctor. Absolutely, wherein, you know, this. So today, this realization, because I'm really going to push him, because this is a live example in front of my eyes that I see a person so healthy. Because at times we would tell Daddy, why do you have to see Daddy, the doctor, every time? Like, you know, and Mommy would say, he gets, you know, that satisfaction of being with a doctor. The moment he sees a doctor, at least 2 months, like daddy is like absolutely hale and hearty and everything. But today I realize that, it is so important.
Yeah.
Because he's been doing this so regularly, it's
No, and
all that
once you come to
matters.
know of the problem of in the body at an early stage, there's something that you can do about it. When it is too late, it becomes too late and it gets complicated. Yeah.
This is best because I have seen so many people like who were very hale and hearty and suddenly went to the doctor and came out with some very serious disease, and then the chemotherapy and all those things start which make the life miserable, and they sometimes regret also. So sometimes I feel at 55 plus I am, if I go to doctor for full checkup, definitely something will come out. Definitely something will come out. But
So it is better not to know.
so I'm keeping myself busy. Yeah.
What do you all feel? Is that yeah?
So what Namrata says about chemotherapy and everything, my mom was diagnosed with third stage cancer at 60. She was a person who would never visit a doctor, never take a medicine. She would refuse to see a doctor. At 60, she was diagnosed with third stage cancer, but she being she, because she had all of the strength and willpower, she lived for another 14 years of her life. Of course, taking everything what she, because she had this desire to live. And she was very okay when she was diagnosed, and she took the
No, but
treatments.
my question here, Jayashree, is that is this good, what Namita is saying, to stay in ignorance, or is it good to know at an earlier stage so that you don't have to go in for those multiple chemos and all? Now, I didn't, in my particular
Yeah.
case, it was excised, that particular portion. And I was told that I must do every 3 months an MRI to check is there a further growth. Okay? And then after 1 year, every 6 months. And now it is once a year. I am in the 3rd year now, once a year. And of course, I took Ayurvedic medicines for liver kind of, rejuvenation, because in allopathy there wasn't much available. So in Ayurveda there are very good medicines for liver. So I have taken that and I feel it's much better. Quality of life is also good because you've come to know about it at an early stage. So why live in ignorance and then let it blow up to such an extent that you are also suffering, the family suffers because of that. So think about it. I mean, I am nobody to preach.
I would
Agree.
I would like to add a personal anecdote here. I mean, my grandmother, when she was in her 50s, she had a small nodule in her breast during a complication after her pregnancy, post-menopause. She had a complication with that. So she got it checked. The doctor said that this might be, malignant. Let's get it checked. She refused. No, I won't do surgery. This is just a small thing. It happens to everybody. She ignored it. Then when she was 65, I was slightly younger then she got detected with breast cancer, right? And then she had to go through, and she was the most lively person I knew. She had to go through all the tough chemotherapy, radiation, the medication, everything. And it drains the life out of you. Those medicines are very, potent. She was able to beat it. And for about 2 years, she had cancer free. But then it came back and it metastasized and came back really strong, which goes on to show that if she had caught it when it was just a small nodule, and if she would have gotten ahead with the treatment, probably the outcome of that whole ordeal would have been much different. I always believe that if you can get more information about your body, you should always get more information about your body.
Yeah. So here, what I wanted to tell you is there was this lady. I joined the Talwalkar gym when I turned 60. Okay, I said, and my muscles and all, I've never worked on it. So needs have 5-6 साल वो किया Talwalkar gym. So when I was there, they have as soon as you enter the Sita Baldi, milestone. So as soon as you enter, there is a lady sitting there who's I think a dietitian or a nutritionist, whatever she is, and then she does consultation, And also I don't see them because वो जो बोलते खाना उतना खाना ही नहीं होता मेरे से, तो and the kind of things and all, and I'm not good at it. So I never used to see her and all. Only then that day that owner or whoever, he told me that you have not seen her, it's not done, you must see her and all. So I was sitting, I went there. So there was one lady sitting there, and she was telling her, मैं क्या बताऊँ आपको, मैं कुछ खाती नहीं फिर भी मेरा वजन बढ़ता, हवा से ही मेरा वजन बढ़ता. सो दिस लेडी लुक्ड एट एंड शी सेज, मैडम मैंने इसमें पीएचडी किया है पर मेरे को अभी तक कहीं पे भी ये नहीं आया कि हवा से वजन बढ़ता है. तो शी सेड इट डिफाइज ऑल मेडिकल नॉलेज कि अभी तक तो मैंने सुना नहीं ऐसा. तो शी सेड नहीं, पर मैं सच्ची बता रही, मैं कुछ खाती नहीं, इतना वर्कआउट करती फिर भी मेरा वजन घटता ही नहीं है करके. सो टिपिकल होता है. व्हेन यू वर्क आउट यू फील यू वर्कड आउट अ लॉट, सो यू ईट डबल and things like that. So these are very common games that the mind plays with you, and you have to analyze for yourself. So enough about the body. Now let's see the quality of my mind.